Good evening, folks, and welcome in. Combank Stadium is where we are at for a big battle tonight between the Penrith Panthers, the home team, up against the Cronulla Sharks. It's going to be a big game, I think. Cronulla Sharks 2-0. They've had two really close games to start the season. John McCartney's been the hero twice, a field goal in round one, and then last week he ran the field off a back, which is quite extraordinary to watch, in all honesty. And I think that they'll be looking to keep going and soar to the top of this SRL ladder with a 3-0 record, whereas the Penrith Panthers, they won all. They had an absolute barnstorming win in round one over the Eagles, with Riley Murray, of course, scoring 5 tries before they were brought back down to earth last week by the high-flying Sydney Roosters. I think both teams will be up for this one. I think it's going to be really exciting, and I am personally really excited to be here. Snicko, bro, as always, joined this time by Liam Ryan. And what do you have to say about this one, Liam?
Yeah, thanks, Nico. Tonight, it's obviously a very interesting game with both sides. On the contrary, the Sharks are obviously coming off a win, whereas the Panthers coming off a loss. So I think Penrith, they'll be very motivated here tonight to get a result, because last week they were the huge favourites over the Roosters and didn't get the Chockies, and were largely dominant in that game, but Roosters just came over. So I'm very interested by this one, and should be a huge battle.
Yeah, I think so. And I think the biggest battle tonight is going to be between the fullbacks. So Riley Murray, as we noted, 5 tries in round one. He had 215 metres last week in a losing side up against Matthew Harris. And then in the second half, it'll be John Boy, because the Cronulla Sharks do like to play that little switch tactic that a few SRL teams are adopting slowly. So I think whoever really comes on top there could really have an impact on this one. I know Riley Murray, 200 metres is nothing to sneeze at, but he has high standards. And I thought personally, he was a bit quiet last week with no tries. What did you think, Liam?
Yeah, 100%, Nico. By his standards, he would have been very quiet, and I think a little bit disappointed by that performance. But yeah, he needs to stand up in this one, get back to his round one levels. As we say, oh, Don Pongston breaks the line. Is he going to get there?
No, it's the captain himself, John Boy Maiava, who comes and gets him from behind. Just a little bit more speed there from John Boy. Proved the difference, but it's the Penrith Panthers. 2 tackles in, and they've gone the better part at 80 metres there. Preston Beats follows up with a nice line break of his own, and it looks like they've clicked into gear very nicely here, the Penrith Panthers. Now it's Wakabayashi out to Trayvon Zakar, who, interestingly, Wakabayashi, he was in the 7 last week. He's moved into the 6 this week. So we'll have to see how that affects how this Penrith team attacks in this 4th tackle now. 1 out from the line. It looks like they have shape out to the left and they go that way. It's Bonzakar, who he wants to fall over the line, but the Cronulla Sharks are a good defensive team, and a few of them get around here. We'll go upstairs quickly. I think that's a new referee, Liam. Is that right?
Yeah, this guy looks fairly new to the SRL. By my scouting report, I haven't seen him.
Yeah, hopefully he does well. Congratulations to our newest referee as we see the no try flash up, and that'll be 5th tackle, I believe. So they're going to have a chance to put in a good kick here, the Penrith Panthers. It looks like it's going to be Wakabayashi. And he puts in a grubber as well. There's one offside player. Nepo Goat storms onto it. And in their first set of the night, the Goat gets over the line. Very well done from the Penrith Panthers. Cronulla Sharks, they're sort of sitting here wondering what happened, because out of absolutely nowhere, the Penrith Panthers have just laid one on them.
Yeah, absolutely, Stinko. Nepo Goat just receives the grubber from Wakabayashi, and yeah, he scored tries in the back-to-back games. He's becoming a try-scoring machine here. Penrith hit back early.
Yeah, you're 100% right. Last week he had, I think, 3 line breaks in that try. So starting to find some form, old Nepo Goat. And Riley Murray will be very happy with that one. I think that the Cronulla Sharks, they just need to take a moment to reset, because they put together quite a nice set of the kickoff, and then they just decided defense wasn't in their menu for that set, and they just let the Panthers roll through as Riley Murray converts that one to give us a 6-0 lead. And the home crowd will be very happy with that one, but there's a long way to go in this game, and I think that the Cronulla Sharks are going to come back strong here, because really they don't have any other option. And so it'll be John Bomaava that gets us underway here, straight downfield into the hands of Riley Murray. The fullback now, he gets a bit of a lane here. Man, the fullbacks, they're doing a bit of damage off the kickoffs. A good 15-metre run there from Riley Murray, as now the Panthers, a bit of momentum. They go to Rusty Shackelford, and he gets a good offload away to Preston Beats. And he goes downfield. Oh, and gets a big bump off. That's 2 in 2 runs from Preston Beats and an offload. Man, the Panthers are playing some exciting football at the moment. 4 minutes into this one, and they've already uncork the champagne. They want to play some champagne football, as now they go right. Nepo Goat, he goes right into the line before he passes off to Rusty Shackelford. So he's a ball player now as well, Nepo Goat. Left now, Wakabayashi. He goes to Riley Murray all the way out to Lecky Tua. And it will be Lecky Tua. I think they've switched his wing after last week. He had a chance to win the game for him in the dying moments, but he got tackled literally on the buzzer with no one ahead of him as he was about to run the field. So they put Dom Ponks onto that right wing now. Will that make a difference? We'll have to wait and see. A good set from the Penrith Panthers. Wakabayashi gets it, and he gets high tackled. I think you've got to take the two here, Liam.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what they're going to do. With a 6-0 lead, 2 points here is vital for Penrith. They've started this game very well, and yeah, I think the Sharks, they really just need to get their defence going because Penrith, they're just rolling up the field with absolute ease. If Cronulla can't stop this middle of Penrith, they're going to have huge trouble tonight.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that that could have almost been a muzz bet in terms of kicking penalty goals. But I've just had a quick check and it needs to be a half to kick. So unlucky muzz bet 3 is that one's not going to come off. Sorry, SRL bets now. We've changed our name, although Riley Murray is playing tonight. So I guess we can go with the nostalgia for one last time. Anyway, it'll be Jumbo Marava to kick now. This will be his second kickoff in literally 3 minutes. The Penrith Panthers didn't mess around there. And he goes deep into the right-hand side of this Penrith attack now. Phoenix Murphy takes it and gets a nice little run there. I'm not sure who that was that just steamed out of the line. They wanted a big hit, but the Panthers avoided them nicely. There's now a few offside players. They go left. Lachlan McKinnon, he finds a little bit of a hole here. The Cronulla defense through the middle is just paper thin at the moment. Line breaks at will for the Panthers. And the Sharks will be worried because that's very dangerous. In terms of how this game goes, there's another line break there from Kane Nielsen. And maybe that half switch already is proving influential for the Panthers, the way they're playing at the moment. Rusty Shackelford now, for the first time, no line break this set, brought down on the fourth tackle. They have players out to the left. That's where they go. Nepo Goat just works into some strong defense there from the Cronulla Sharks. And now the Sharks are going to touch the ball. It's been the better part of 4.5 minutes since we've seen them with the ball, I think. And they go across field down to Ben Cummins, and he gets wrapped up in a pretty good tackle there. So the Panthers not just on in attack, it looks like they're on in defense. Who do you think can come through, Liam, and make some good meters for this Cronulla team?
Yes, Nico. I think that Matty Harris, the guy that just touched the ball there, he's got to get going here. And I think their forward pack, Nathan McCrory, guys like, oh, and he throws a huge ball out to McCartney. Maybe John McCartney can get himself involved. But yeah, maybe Kai Foer as well. I think those guys can be influential in the Sharks' comeback here.
Yeah, and sorry, not Kai Foa. Poesia Foa Aliti, I believe we call him now. With the ball, takes the run. I think that Nathan McCrory is a big one for me. 150 odd meters last week. 150 on the dot to be exact. 4 tackle breaks and some good tackles. They had a really good stint in that prop role. We'll have to see if the Penrith Panthers can contain them. As now Lecky Tua gets a bit of a line break here. Matt Harris makes a tackle. It's becoming all too familiar the way the Penrith team cut through with ease. And now another held in tackle penalty. And Liam, this is unprecedented scenes. 2 penalties in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely, Snicker. The Sharks' discipline just not being good enough in these first 10 minutes. And yeah, it's epitomised by those 2 penalties. And last set, the line breaks were halted a little bit, but Penrith, for the most part, they're just making meters at will. And Riley Murray, again, with that step, just almost through again.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It seems like it's all the Penrith Panthers with Preston Beats charged into the teeth of this Cronulla Sharks. Third tackle now. Wakabayashi gets it. He goes for a bit of a run. He was a pretty good running halfback last week. Maybe he'll be a running 5'8" at the moment. They got shape out to the left. That's how they go. Nepo go ball plays out to Bonzakahu. Bonzakahu in the big pink head gears, getting it over the line. They just didn't get around his legs, and that's a try assist to Nepo Goat to go along with his try, and it's his forward partner, TBK, who's going to get over the line here. The number 12 from the Sharks, I think that could be Common A. I'd have to check the team sheet, just couldn't do enough, and no one helped him out. That's the big thing for me, Liam. You need players to get around the ball, and the Sharks, they're all just watching.
Yeah, absolutely, Snicker. That's just really poor defence from the Sharks. You saw McCartney run away and didn't wrap the legs, and also Afoli didn't wrap the legs either. So, yeah, just lack of effort there. That's what it is for the Sharks. And yeah, they're going to have to put in those effort plays because otherwise this scoreboard could extend rather quickly.
Yeah, we saw just how good the Penrith Panthers were in round 1 when they got a bit of a roll on, how quickly they could attack. And I just checked that was Comedy, so John Boy won't be happy with him there. I suppose he was the only one making the tackle. You should probably point to the guys that you mentioned in Joy McCartney and Poesia Foalei, who didn't really help out. But I think that the whole right edge needs to be put under notice here, as now Will Kay takes it. And he gets, a nice run and defend. Will Kay into the backfield. Andy beats Matt Harris. The Penrith Panthers claws are out. They're on the attack at the moment. The Sharks just cannot go with him. That is for sure. Rusty Shackelford now will be brought down on the halfway line. Only the second tackle. The Penrith Panthers doing damage here. Nepo Goat plays the ball here. Will Kay's running game could come to the fore here with some split markers instead. He finds his way out to Lachlan McKinnon and he beats one. Fourth tackle now. The Penrith Panthers 38 out from the Sharks line. They go left. It's Don Ponkston with the ball. And he just takes a nice little settler there. Probably not quite in position for a kick of any kind of attacking authority. And no, it goes into the backside and Will Kay picks it up. Probably not the worst result, Liam, but definitely not the best result.
Yeah, absolutely, Snicker. They need to pile the kick down to the corner, but I guess it removes that kick return element for the Sharks, which is probably one of their most dangerous things right now because their middle and is just not getting going, in my opinion. So, but maybe they'll be able to get it down the wings here with Mayava.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Mayava and Harris both lethal on the kick return. So if you don't play the kick, I guess that you can't concede a kick return try. Maybe that's what they were thinking. But I just think they stuffed that one up and they'll be working to fix those. Now they go inside border. Matthew Harris into the backfield. Riley Murray misses. The Sharks are straight back into this one. Harris with his first real attacking foray goes straight down the middle of the field and he scores one there. No one even got a hand on him. Riley Murray just didn't have the angle, and just like that, the Sharks are on the board, Liam.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a great inside ball to Matty Harris. It was brilliant work from the fullback. His first real involvement, I think, Matty Harris, and it was needed because they really needed to halt this Penrith momentum because that middle was just absolutely getting dominated. So good stuff for Matty Harris, and yeah, great fight back.
Yeah, I suppose if the forwards can't do the jobs, the backs will come to the party, and that's what's happened there. Nice little inside ball. John Boy Mahava's pumped up, though, with a couple of fist pumps to the crowd. Not even his home crowd, but he's still happy. And now it'll be Riley Murray to kick off. 3 minutes left until the substitutions come on in those prop rolls. Maybe that could swing the favour back into Cronulla's way, because at the moment, like Liam said, they're just getting absolutely butched through the middle. Preston Beach has been tremendous, as has Rusty Shackelford. And the man that we mentioned, Nate Macquarie, just hasn't really come to the party yet, Liam.
Yeah, Nate Macquarie, I just don't think he's been involved enough. Maybe he just hasn't got the ball or hasn't got the delivery, but yeah, he just really hasn't been able to make any meters penetrate this Penrith middle.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So they'll get a little rest soon and maybe they can reset there, as now it's the Sharks working their way out of trouble. Eddie Oliver just misses one, and it's Nate Macquarie who picks it up. Does well to get to the 40-metre line. It was almost no good there for the Sharks, but they recovered nicely. As now McCartney throws a good pass out to Harris, finds his way to Ben Cummins. He can't get past one. It looked dangerous there for a moment. The Sharks are just zinging this ball around, sideline to sideline. Now it's McCartney into the middle of the field. Lonnie Lawrence, the first time he's touched the ball, I think, all game, and he's about to leave the field, so he needs some more involvement in his second stint, that's for sure. Fifth tackle now here. They go right to McCartney. He goes downtown. A good kick. I think that'll find Lecky Tua on the full. That's what it does. And Lecky Tua, he beats one there, but a good coverage tackle there on the inside gets him. And I think that the Penrith Panthers have been really deliberate in trying to get Riley Murray into the game off the kick returns, but the Sharks have been even better. Just putting the ball in the corner and forcing the wingers to do the job, Liam.
Yeah, absolutely. They haven't been able to get Riley Murray involved as much as they want, but when Will Kay is running like that, I'm not sure it matters too much.
Yeah, that's for sure. Will Kay, he was a try scorer last week, and he's looking good now. As Matt Harris, they go straight past him. Lecky Tua, he wants to make up for last week's errors. A really good run there, beat three of them, and put the Penrith Panthers in good attacking territory. It'll be Riley Murray. He's going to try and barge over here, but there's three around him, and he's turned onto his back here. The referee, he's new to the SRL, like we mentioned, wants to make sure he doesn't lose his spot, so he sends this one upstairs. But it's Lonnie Lawrence around the top and Common around the back end. That could be Matthew Harris as well, who hold him up. But we saw how dangerous Wakabayashi was only moments ago off a set start. And that's exactly what they have here. So maybe the grubber to Nepo Goat could be on again. It looks like that's where they're going. Wakabayashi, no, this time he bombs instead. There's many chases, but it's Mayava who comes down with it. And Mayava, the spin move. But a good tackle there brings him down eventually. As we see the Sharks players leave the field. And now it's Whitaker with his first run. So there's a few players, Liam, from this Sharks team that we really haven't seen touch the ball very much.
Yeah, absolutely, Snicko. I think it's just the lack of possession is really why they haven't touched the ball as much as you would have wanted. Because obviously, and here's an error. That's really what the Sharks just didn't need at that point.
Yeah, that was a dead set stinker from McCartney, and I think it was a substitute player who just ran in front of him. Total miscommunication. We talk about possession. Penrith have had absolutely oodles of it. As now it's Riley Murray into the backfield. What can he do? Get tackled by Matt Harris, and he gets a good offload away. It's Mobiston now. He gets driven backwards, fresh on the field. Mobiston. 3 tackles left in this set here for the Panthers. Will Kay goes left to Harrison Coward, another man with a lot of momentum to him. Brought down 5 out from the line. Left again. TBK wants a double, but a good tackle there. I think that's McCartney who got out there. Just pushes him backwards, and it means that once again, it could be a Wakabayashi grabber. What does Special K have for us? He goes to the bomb instead. Very wide. Watch the back. Sharks are deadly. No, it's McKinnon who comes down with it. But he's wrapped up by a good Cronulla Sharks defensive team. And they've done well there, the Sharks, Liam, because the Penrith Panthers fired a few shots, but none of them found their targets. Oh, no. As we've seen,
Oh,
accidental
that's
offside. Whose ball is that? Oh, it's the Sharks. Thank the Lord. Another set could have been game over there.
yeah, absolutely, Snicker. That was definitely needed for them to hold the ball there because Penrith are just mounting pressure on that Sharks defensive line, and yeah, if they have another set there, it's pretty much toast for Cronulla. But yeah, they just need to work it out there. And as we say, Matty Harris with a brilliant run. That's exactly what we need to see more out of this Sharks outfit.
Yeah, definitely. They need their big players to stand up. Matthew Harris last week, he just had the 80 metres. Only one half at fullback, but still, you'd want more from that, even if he just played 80 on the wing. So he's come to play today, and it looks like he's doing well as Ben Cummins gets a little spin on there in the washing machine spin cycle going for the Sharks here. 30 metres out from the Penrith line. What do they do? I think it'll be a crossfield punt. No, it's straight down to the throat of Riley Murray. This is dangerous here. Murray passed one into the backfield. Now Murray, we've got a foot race on our hands. Matthew Harris, wow, rounds him up with absolute ease. 45 out from his own line. Just as I got excited, Matthew Harris got Murray without really much effort, it looked like, in all honesty, as now Don Polston takes it. And 15 minutes left in this half. Both teams, they fired their shots. They found their way into some good football, and they're going to want to go here. Phoenix Murphy now, probably only their second run of the game, and they were really good last week. A lot of meterage from them, 149 to be exact. They were wanting to repeat the dose, but for the moment, they haven't quite found the line breaks that they're after. As now they go again. There's a line break. Phoenix Murphy, they're very good in that number 12 jersey. That's what the Panthers will want. 20 out now. It looks like they might go for a 2-pass bomb here. Out to that left-hand side. First to Nielsen, then to Wakabayashi. Wow, long ball out to Riley Murray. Running it on the 5th. Very expensive from the Panthers, and I actually think I quite like it, Liam.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they tried it last week against the Roosters as well. They might have scored a try off it actually with Riley Murray, if I'm not mistaken. But it's works for the Panthers, and I don't mind it because those bombs just haven't been able to come to points really.
Yeah, I think they ran it and then they grub it and they just Riley Murray might have grounded off the grub. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and watch last week's game. Just sort of put that one out of my mind once it was over. Wins a win and all that stuff. As now Eddie Oliver gets out of half. He wants to compete with Will Kay here. So far, Will Kay has been by far the dominant hooker, but Eddie Oliver, he's coming to the party slowly but surely. Is now McCartney into the backfield. He gets a nice little run there and it's going to put the Sharks in just on the cusp of an attacking kick. I think they're going to punt instead. It's Poesio Foali'i. Sorry, frog in my throat there. Goes to Ponkston, who goes into the backfield, and Matt Harris gets him. Harris has been very good defensively so far. He knows he just has 12 minutes left in his stint here today, and he wants to make the most of it. As now the Panthers, Nepo Goat goes wide to Mobiston. He's been largely workmanship-like as he's been on the field in these back 9 minutes so far, but I think he'll want to extend his role. As now Nepo Goat gets a big fend off. Nepo Goat slowly proving himself to be one of the better locks in the competition. A good run there. Takes him to the 40-metre line as now Wakabayashi plays long. Kane Nielsen finds Riley Murray. This is danger for the Sharks. Murray into the backfield. Turns Matthew Harris inside out. On the 20-metre line, the Penrith Panthers are now. They're going to have 2 chances. The referee almost gets in the way. He goes to Phoenix Murphy. No line break there for Murphy. And it'll be a deeper set here for the Panthers if they like to kick. They might run it again. Who knows? They go to Nielsen. He puts up a pretty well-placed bomb about 8 out from the Cronulla line. Ben Cummins comes down with it and beats one. Ben Cummins into the backfield, but Riley Murray gets him. I think that Both fullbacks have been great defensively off these line breaks, but I think that, Liam, one of these teams will have to crack eventually.
Yeah, absolutely, Snicko. Matty Harris has been awesome in defence. We've seen him a few times now, just absolutely smash Murray when he gets the ball and close him down with ease. But yeah, I think the fatigue will start to set in, and yeah, but I guess with the Sharks swapping fullbacks at half time, that could be something that comes into play in this one.
Yeah, definitely. And we just saw him there, Jimmy Lopez. I'd like to see him get his hands on the ball a little bit more. I think largely the Sharks haven't been in attacking territory, but when they are, I'd like to see him get his fingerprints on this one because he's a class attacking player so far in his short tenure in 2.0. So I'd like to see what he can do. As now Dom Pogston gets a good kick return, picks up 15 or so meters. And the Penrith Panthers here, 8 minutes left in this one, up by 8 points. They'll just want to close out this half without any further damage and go in with a nice lead, whereas the Sharks, they'll want to come home strong, try and nab one right before half time. And they're going to have to start here with some good defense, and that won't help. Trayvon Sakahu, he picks off a good 30 meters and takes the Penrith Panthers to halfway. And the pressure's off the Panthers now. They got 2 tackles left. They'll just keep going meterage. Finds his way to Phoenix Murphy. A good 2-man tackle brings him down. I think that's Vuval and Garway in there along with Eddie Oliver. As now Mobiston gets a little short ball. He swept around the ruck there to try and create the extra numbers, then took the run himself. 35 out. I think they'll go the kick. He goes to Wakabayashi and he puts down a pretty good punt straight down the throat of Ben Cummins. What can he do with it? Ben Cummins straight past one into the backfield. Ben Cummins, where's Riley Murray? He's coming across, but very, very slowly. Ben Cummins here. He's got a bit of pace. He's getting close to the line over and over. Riley Murray misses, but it's a good tackle in cover. And the Sharks, they have one more chance here right before half time. Pauisi Afoa Ali gets it. The Penrith Panthers, they've got to be gassed. They've just ran 90 metres to get back and defend, and the Sharks still have 3 tackles. Jimmy Lopez now short ball. Travis Whitaker. Whitaker's going to get over the line, but turned on his back here. We'll go upstairs. I don't think it's a try. Liam, where are the points coming from? Because the Sharks, they look very dangerous when they're swimming in the shallow water.
Yeah, absolutely, Snick. I think the points they need to come from their outside backs. I think that obviously Cummins with the huge run. I think they need to look to Matty Harris or John Boy Mayava on this left-hand side. That's where their dangerous signs are coming from. This forward pack, I'm not sure about, but yeah, definitely the outside backs is really where they're dangerous.
Yeah, I have to say I agree with you, and the Penrith Panthers will know that. They'll be having their eyes on some of these players as Whitaker. He takes a settler, and it's already the 5th tackle of the Sharks here. They got some shape out to the left. It looks like they want a little grubber maybe, and he goes to Jimmy Lopez. No, he might just barge over himself here. Jimmy Lopez, no. The Penrith Panthers get him just, and they definitely dodged a bullet there. The Sharks, they were coming home strong to finish this half, and I think that could probably be their last chance, I think.
Yeah, absolutely, Snicko. That was a huge chance, and both sides have really defended well here. Oh, and we see a big shot. I think that might have been, was that Kamene? I'm not sure.
That was Vuvalangawa coming off the bench and putting on big damage there. That's not pretty for Nepo Goat. He's been quite good this game, but this time just gets absolutely leveled as now Will Kay gets out of half. And not bad from him. 4th tackle here. Do they look at a 40-20? No, Wakabayashi gets out of half and throws a big dummy. I haven't seen that one before, but I do like to see the players getting innovative. And now it'll be the Penrith Panthers to kick. Downfield, Kane Nielsen goes. He's going to be straight down the throat of John Bo Maava. What can he do? 3 minutes left in the half. Maava just gets wrapped up in a good tackle here. And now it's up to the Sharks to make their way out of trouble, Liam.
Yeah, Sticko, it's the Sharks. They're gonna have to work out of their own end now, and as we've said, we're gonna have to see John Boy Mayava can get some early ball on this left-hand side. As I say it, he gets that ball, and oh, he's away.
Yeah, speaking of the devil, John Maava, he's just making the most of this wing stint. Straight past Riley Murray there, like he wasn't even there. And now it's Werman into the backfield. We see one dive there. I think it was Phoenix Murphy, but luckily there was good coverage. The Penrith Panthers, they look shot at the moment. 2 sets where they've just gone straight through. Poisi Afoa Ali now into the backfield. Riley Murray gets him. That'll be 5th tackle here. What can they do? Jimmy Lopez around the back. He puts in a grubber. Oh, it's an accidental offside. Riley Senor thought he was into this one. Instead, the Panthers dodge another bullet, but the Sharks, they have 2 minutes left in this half. They're not going to want the break land. They're coming home very, very strong.
Yeah, absolutely. They've really hit their best at the end of this half, and it's unfortunate because yeah, half time, as you said, it's probably the worst thing for them at the moment because they're on a roll, and yeah, it might halt their momentum.
Yeah, the big circle breaker, I think it might be. And Yeah, Harrison Coward almost just absolutely bombed that one before he luckily got a ricochet off someone's head, and he gave the Panthers 6 again, so they'll probably close out the half now with the ball as Bonzakahu. He goes through a hole. The right side of the Sharks is getting absolutely torn up, but Riley Senior back on the inside. I just said they wouldn't touch the ball, and Bonzakahu's thrown it away, so now it'll be the Sharks with 40 seconds left. I don't think they'll get down the other end. They're still well in their own half, but there's just a few wobbles here for this Penrith Panthers bicycle. Maybe call it a tricycle. They haven't taken their safety wheels off yet. They're still a bit wobbly with this lead. 8 points is not a whole lot in the scheme of things. Only takes a trial to swing that one around as we go into halftime now. Penrith Panthers up 14-6. Back again and back at it. That's what we are here to watch the back end of this game. The Sharks 8 points down, but a very promising finish to the second half, to the first half. We'll have them wanting for more here, as it's going to be Marva to kick us off. I think that personally, I was really impressed with Riley Murray that half. He had 100 plus meters, a couple of line breaks, and then Nepo Goat with the try and the try assist. Who are your favourites, Liam?
Yeah, Snicko, my favourites in this game, well, obviously, I think the stat sheet didn't really say it well enough. But I think Matty Harris, he had a pretty good first half, like 79 run meters, but he had the try and was really solid defensively, I thought. Uh, John Boy Malva, I thought he was decent out on that wing. I think he had about 70 plus run meters, something like that. And yeah, but Penrith, they dominated that first half, and yeah, they had a lot more possession. It'll be interesting to see if it swings here.
Yeah, and that's not going to
Oh,
swing. Kane Nielsen back on the inside. He's going to score here. Speaking of swinging, they went wide. They swung it back on the inside. That is tremendous football from the Panthers. I was waiting for you to finish talking. I was going to say they put together a really good set, throwing the ball around, great ball security. And then they cap it off with that. Just like they started the first half, the Penrith Panthers, they're scoring their first chance with the ball, and that will please Murray greatly. And not good signs for the Sharks because they had a whole lot of momentum. As we mentioned before the break, a big circuit breaker, and it looks like the Sharks engine just hasn't kick-started. It's just spluttering at the moment. As the Panthers, they convert this goal. Well done, Riley Murray. Takes into a 14-point lead once again. And I think that mountain that the Sharks had to climb just got a whole lot bigger.
yeah, absolutely, Snicker. That was a brilliant try there from the Panthers. Champagne footy, as you'd say. Kane Nielsen back on the inside, and they're away. Yeah, it's huge for the Sharks to climb here, this mountain. But big, we're seeing crazier things happen, and yeah, I'm sure the Sharks will fight back here.
Yeah, and one thing to mention that we see there as Murray goes for a bit of a run is in the first half, it was the Penrith Panthers left edge doing a whole lot of damage, like lots of easy meters. Bonzakahu who had 100 plus meters at half time. McKinnon, I think, actually, he was right side, but he had some danger. Anyway, in that instance, it was down the right-hand side that the Panthers did their damage. So now both sides of the ruck, the Sharks are getting torches. Wakabayashi, once again, he doesn't mind that little dummy out of dummy half, is what I've seen. I'll have to make notes on that one because he could be very dangerous with the ball in hand as now Kay gets an offload around Matt Turner. It was his line break that started it all last set. So astute substitution from the Panthers to bring him onto the game as now they finish us at about 33 out from the Sharks line. It goes to Kane Nielsen, the try scorer, who kicks now down the throat of Matthew Harris, back on his wing. What can he do? Not a whole lot just there. Really good kick defense from the Panthers. They've done their homework that when he's on the edge, he's pretty dangerous. As now Whitaker gets a really good line break there, 30-odd meters, takes the Sharks right out of danger territory, pretty much to halfway. Their first chance with the ball this half. We'll have to see if they have the right attitude as Senor. Ball plays out to Jai O'Neill, not a relation of Fraser, also on the field. But anyway, the Sharks, they're in good field position here. Inside the Comene, he's brought down on the 20-meter line, fourth tackle here. The Sharks, they want to answer with some points of their own. It goes to Senor. He ball plays once again. He doesn't mind a little short pass over to Riley. Brought down on the 10-meter line. It looks like they want to go to the right. That's where Fraser O'Neill is, and he puts up a very well-placed bomb. A few chases, but it's Lecky Tour underneath it. And Lecky Tour past a couple. It's going to be up to John Boy. Wow, good ankle tap gets him. And I think that was Nathan McCory. He just about saved the try because for a moment, Liam, I thought John Boy was turned inside out.
Yeah, absolutely, Snicker. It was brilliant work from Nathan McCorry to stop that one because otherwise, I think you might as well rule off the Sharks here because 26-6, I'm not sure they're coming back.
Yeah, that's for sure. And speaking of comebacks, Moses Valentine last week, he was tremendous in the first half, and he didn't really do anything in the first half, but he's come back on with a great little run there. 3 tackle breaks from him. Perhaps an avenue that the Penrith Panthers can explore a bit further as now they go right-hand side. Phoenix Murphy, he'll be brought down about 30 out from the line, 29 out to be exact, and now they're going to have to punt again here. Out to Kane Nielsen, rinse and repeat, although this time they go across field. Always a bit more dangerous, open up the field for the kick return, but it doesn't matter because Moses Valentine absolutely nails Ben Cummins there. He had his target the whole way on the kick chase and he just drove him backwards. So now McCartney gets the ball. He goes to combinate. I think I need more from the Sharks halves, Liam. I think McCartney and Jimmy Lopez, if they can step up, they can drag this Sharks team back into the contest because at the moment, it's all one-way traffic.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they do need to look to their playmakers because we haven't really seen a whole lot out of them. And if they can get a bit out of them with their kicking game, maybe a 40-20 through that avenue, they might be able to get Matty Harris and John Boymeava involved and get this forward pack moving because those forwards really aren't doing it at the minute.
Yeah, that's part of the reason, isn't it? And of course, I just noticed Jimmy Lopez is off, so it's going to be Fraser O'Neill that has to step up. But with the forwards not really making the meters, it doesn't give the halves a whole lot of space to play behind, which of course makes it difficult. But I think you're right, a 40-20, even a 20-40 with the way that the forwards are going, could be crucial in sort of flipping their momentum in this game because it's only second tackle and the Penrith Panthers are already well into the Cronulla Sharks half here. And if they get any more good runs, it could be lights out. As now Matt Turner, he'll be brought down about 32 out from this Penrith Panthers line here. It looks like they want to play out to the right. We see the players moving. Instead, they play a little switch play to Wakabayashi. He's traditionally the right-hand side player, and that's where he wants to get back out to tonight. 4th tackle. They need a big run, the Panthers. He goes to Kane Nielsen. He goes to Murray. He goes wide out to Don Pongston. And Pongston, who was so good last week, we haven't quite seen him hit full flight here tonight. We'll have to wait and see if, as the game goes on, he can inject himself as now Whittaker comes up with it. It was a drop ball, and Whittaker's come through, and now it's a foot race. There's 2 in coverage, and the center's coming across. But Whittaker's pinched off a really good 60-odd meters there, and he's going to put the Sharks on 0 tackle in a great field position. This could be the time here for McCartney and O'Neill to step up. There's blood in the water. The Sharks are circling. What can they do here? 20 out from the line. Fraser O'Neill, short ball Maava, out to Matt Harris, past one Maava, TBK, back in the centers, not doing a whole lot. Forgotten how to tackle, but he gets one there. It's Whittaker, the man who started it, plays the ball. Second tackle now, they go right. Nate Macquarie throws an absolute speculator that Nepo Go picks off. And just like that, Liam, the Sharks, the window's closing. And I think that could just about be game.
Yeah, I think so, Snicko. I think that also shows why Nathan Macquarie is playing in the props and on the halves because that pass wasn't all too delightful there.
No, you're exactly right. And you might be thinking, viewing at home, they were a bit audacious calling this one with 26-12, but they need 3 tries, the Sharks, and so far their attack just hasn't clicked. Should they get more field position, maybe they can string it, but at the moment, it looks like they just don't know what's going on as Jimmy Ralph gets a big bump off there on Riley Senor to take the Panthers within 30 of the Sharks line. It looks like they're going to kick now. Wakabayashi, he faced right, kick left, very tricky there from him, and Ben Cummins now. Wow, once again, Moses Valentine absolutely nails him. And I've got to say, Liam, for a centre, that is quite the tough job, and he's absolutely nailing it at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely, Snicko. He's doing a great job out on that right-hand side. Really impressed with what he's been doing.
Yeah, as now Jai O'Neill gets a good bump off there. Great work by him. That might have even been Will Kay, which isn't too easy. No, I think it was Jimmy Ralph who was bumped off. As now Senor goes for a bit of a run. Chance for a 40-20 here. The Sharks, if they're brave, get themselves back into the game. And it looks like they want it. Fraser O'Neill kicks it, and he nails it. This could be big here for the Sharks. O'Neill, 40-20. Yes, gets there on the 3rd bounce. The Sharks are on the attack now. This could be it. 24 in the game. They got to score here to give themselves a chance. Fraser O'Neill, he takes his hit up. No wonder they put him into the halves. Jimmy Lopez get off the field. O'Neill's here to step up. And now Oliver out of half. He's going to score. No, he's not. Turned on his back. Wow, some great defense there, Liam. And I think that out of their spine, so not just their halves, Eddie Oliver and John Boy, the 4 of them need to get together in this little break and work out a plan of attack because they need points and they need them desperately.
Yeah, absolutely. certainly going to have to formulate some sort of plan because at the moment, all their plans have not worked in this red zone. They've been able to make meters, but once they get down here, it's just they're struggling to put the points together.
Yeah, for sure. Second tackle now, and it's Whitaker. They've actually looked very likely. I'd like to see them get involved. Now it's Nathan Macquarie. Turned on his back just for a moment. You thought he might get there before the Penrith Panthers just got in late to turn him over. We'll just check the replay. Yeah, it was Nepo Goat. Turns over Nate Macquarie there. A good tackle from Riley Murray over the top as well, as we see the no try flash up. Third tackle now for the Sharks. They need to get expansive. They need some points. I'd like to see some kind of block shape like they had earlier to get Matt Harris involved, but this time for my Alvarez. Eddie Oliver, he wants a second go out of half. This time he doesn't get there. The halves are calling for the ball. They need it. And now O'Neill out of half. Throws a big dummy. O'Neill, he might get over here. O'Neill's going to score. What a few moments from him. Fraser O'Neill nails a 40-20 and then gets out of half, throws the dummy and powers past Riley Murray there to score. Will Kay just watching on. The vice captain thought his captain had it handled and didn't help him at all as Nepo got the other one, the other side of the post. Both of them had to get in and help out. Instead, it's try time for the Sharks and there could be life in this game just yet.
Yeah, absolutely, Snicker. Fraser O'Neill, he might have been learning off Wakabayashi doing those little dummies on the other team. He's obviously been innovative with those, and Fraser O'Neill implements it himself, and the Sharks are over.
Yeah, and they're going to reduce the scoreline to a simple 8 points here, I believe. Yeah, my other nails that one straight over the black dot. And he's quite pleased with himself, as he should be, to take this one within 8. 8 points, 22 minutes. There's plenty of time left in this one. Someone got the defib machine out and put some life back into this game. And now the Panthers, they might be looking over their shoulders slightly. They thought they had this one run and done. Instead, there could be a final lap chase here from the Sharks to bring themselves back into this one as Riley Murray's going to kick off now. And he goes slightly to that left-hand side of the Sharks. I think it'll be O'Neill down there. It is the try scorer. Now goes for a bit of a run. He's brought down about 12 out from his own line. Struggles to 15. Now they go right. Bobby Werman, unsighted for a long time. Ball plays back to Riley Senior. They only have 2 minutes left in their stint. He'll be looking to make an impact before he goes Senior. And now O'Neill gets it. He goes right to the line. Passes out to Mayava. Mayava's into the backfield here, but Murray gets him. All fullbacks in this game so far, the three of them have been exceptional defensively. There's now McCartney. He gets it out to Fraser O'Neill. Inside ball, Riley Senior. We said he wanted to make an impact. He's trying to get himself involved there. 41 out from the Penrith Panthers line. Inside ball, Mayava. He beats one here. Mayava runs straight at Riley Murray. It'll take him out of commission for this last play, but should they bomb it, it'll be up to a winger to take it. What do the Sharks halves do? He goes to O'Neill, and instead he just punts. It's down to Dom Ponkston on the kick return. He's passed to there, Dom Ponkston, before Mayava gets him and takes him awfully close to that far touchline as he lets him up to play the ball. Pretty slow there, almost a 6 again, I think. And now Riley Murray into the backfield here. Riley Murray foot race. Who's going to get him? It's John Boy Mayava. Second tackle here. They're only second tackle and they're only 40 out from the Sharks line here, the Panthers, Liam. Who do you think can step up for the Sharks defensively? Because someone needs to, and they need to quick smart.
Yeah, they might need to look to maybe Nathan Macquarie. I reckon he needs to tighten up defensively. Maybe Vivek Lingawa as well. He needs to tighten up in that middle if he's still on. I can see him, I think. But yeah, they're just getting absolutely torn through this middle and doesn't seem to be stopping any time soon.
Yeah, and maybe with some prop subs they can fix that up as now we go high and Riley Murray comes down with it. The man can do it all. He gets above the opposition centre there to take that catch out of nowhere, really. The Penrith Panthers have scored once again, and really it followed the great run earlier in the set. It was by Murray to pick off the meterage, and it puts them into a nice little territory there. This could be a 14-point lead here with only 18 left on the board. We said the defibrillator came out moments ago, but I think the doctors are going to call this one dead, time of death, 62 minutes into the game.
Yeah, absolutely, Snicko. What a try there from Riley Murray. He just leaped up above like a big cat in the jungle. The Panthers leap and land the try. Brilliant work from Muzza. Missed the conversion, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, so that leaves it at 12 points, so they don't need to score 3 anymore. They can score 2 and get into golden point, which is where the Sharks, they do their best work in close games, so maybe this is a ploy. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see here as Mayava's going to kick off. Yeah, we've seen the Sharks 2 weeks in a row come from behind to win. Can they do it a third week? It definitely takes its toll. And the Panthers, they'll be looking to just really coast this one the rest of the game. 17 minutes left in this one. They go right again now. Riley Murray, he started to inject himself, but this time no good. Brought down in a good two-man tackle by the Sharks. Out of half, K goes left. Wakabayashi out to McKinnon. And honestly, McKinnon was great in the centres, as was TBK in the second row. So I wouldn't be shocked if in the future they just hold their positions rather than switching at half-time. Perhaps with a bit more fitness as now Kane Nielsen gets it and gets absolutely leveled. It's Jimmy Lopez back on the field with a great big hit as now Shackelford goes for a run. The half for the Cronulla Sharks, Jimmy Lopez, he's angry that O'Neill's showed him up so far this game, and he's coming out with some vengeance in his blood as now Wakabayashi goes downfield. It's a pretty good kick here, and they find Ben Cummins once again. It's almost a ploy, I think, Liam. Keep the ball out of Mayava's hands and just smash Ben Cummins every single time he touches the ball.
Yeah, absolutely, Snicker. I think they just don't want it going down Mayava or Harris's hands because those two are really where the danger lies. And Cummins, he just really hasn't been able to penetrate through the defensive line whenever you get to kick return. So it's a good strategy here from Penrith.
Yeah, they've been very astute with what they've done. And you're right, it's a tremendous strategy. As now Lachlan Sinclair, he just got driven backwards there. They might look at a 40-20 if they're brave here. It goes to Riley Senior, and he goes downfield. It's no 40-20, but it is some good meterage as Riley Murray waits underneath. It beats one on the bounce. He beat someone while the ball was in the air, but good kick chase from the Sharks brings him down, and now it'll be the Panthers once again work their way out of trouble. Preston beats fresh back on the field. They got some running in them as now McKinnon, some smart play from K out half. McKinnon gets it and he's brought down here. It looks like they want to go short side. Preston beats lining up. That's where they go. They cut him out, but outside, inside, they fooled me. They fooled themselves off the head. They get 6 more tackles. Will K, the lucky recipient of the second Falcon here tonight, keeps the Panthers with the ball. And I think with 13 left in this one, the Cronulla Sharks, they really need to tighten up here. Personally, I would like them to tighten up because I got the Panthers 1-6, but in terms of just their winning, they need to make sure they don't concede here. It's Kane Nielsen into the backfield. It's looking dangerous for the Sharks here. A fish out of water. That's what this defensive line is. Second tackle and a 6 again. Make that 0 tackles here. Now it's Bontakahi. He goes out to Riley Murray. Finds its way to Dom Pongson, and he just scythed through the line. They had 6 tackles. They only needed 1. Dom Pongson extends the lead to 16 points.
Yeah, that's a great try there from Dommy Pongson. Just steps past, does a bit of a 360.
Beat 3 of
Scores
them.
on that. Yeah, it was absolutely insane work from Dommy Pongson down there.
Yeah, and it's just the class that the Panthers have on their edges. They've outgunned, outplayed, and really just outwitted this opposition team as Riley Murray's going to kick it. Pretty tough kick. We'll have to see what he does with it. He's going to try and go this left to right bend. And he nails it straight through those 2 posts. 4 out of 5 here tonight to take us out to an 18-point lead here. 12 minutes left in this one. The Sharks, they're swimming against the stream. I think that could be wraps. And Jumbo Ma'ava now, he'll be looking to take some pride out of this one because they've been comprehensively handled here tonight by Murray and his merry men of Penrith Panthers.
Yeah, absolutely, Snicker. They'll have to. I reckon they're gonna have to start looking to next week. Obviously, they play the Titans at home in round 4, but yeah, they've just been manhandled tonight. They're gonna have to look to their middle. Something needs to change, I'd say, within their middle because if they get rolled like this by the Panthers, I'm gonna say the Titans are gonna try and do it next week.
Yeah, and I guess the question becomes, Liam, is this an aberration? Is this a one-off? Of course, they still have a winning record. They're still at 2-1. Do you think they pull the trigger now after one loss, or do you think they stick the course?
Oh, I don't know, Snicker. It's looked pretty bad tonight, and I think the Titans' middle is reasonably good. They wouldn't want this against the Titans.
Yeah, and on the Panthers' edge, we spoke about they switched Wakabayashi and Kane Nielsen for tonight's game, and I actually thought Wakabayashi was pretty good last week in the 7, but another held in tackle penalty. That's shocking from the Sharks. They're single-handedly getting up that SRL bet about penalties. But I've distracted myself. Back to what I was saying. Kane Nielsen's been dominant in the 7, as has Wakabayashi in the 6. So I think they might have found their permanent halves pairing the Panthers.
Yeah, definitely, Snicker. They've been brilliant tonight, these 2 halves. Yeah, there's no reason to change it again now.
Yeah, exactly. Don't change your winning formula. Now Wakabayashi, speak of the devil, goes out to Preston Beats, who takes 2 forwards in a good tackle. They want to go short side again here. McKinnon gets it. Oh, and that's a bad pass from him. Probably a rare error from the Panthers tonight. But they're not going to be too worried. They're up by 18 with only 9 left in this game. It would take a minor miracle for the Sharks to even look like winning here. As now McCartney, he goes to Lonnie Lawrence. Lonnie Lawrence, a famous 12 metres at halftime. He just couldn't get his hands on the ball in that first half. And that's his first touch in the second, so he's not going to enjoy looking at the stats later on tonight. As Jimmy Lopez now goes for a bit of a gallop downfield. 29 out from their own line, the Sharks here. They go left once again. Out to Travis Whittaker. They've probably been their best forward, would you say, Liam? Whittaker for the Sharks?
Yeah, Whittaker's been huge tonight. Off that, obviously, he picked up that loose ball and ran 50 metres. He's just got that speed, and I think he's been tremendous tonight, even with his strength, too. He's just been powering forward, hasn't stopped all night.
Yeah, a pretty valid take, I think, as now Comedy goes forward. 5th tackle for the Sharks. They couldn't really make any meaningful meters, so they're going to have to punt it. It's McCartney. He goes straight downtown. I think this will be Lecky Tua on this close wing, and Lecky Tua gets wrapped up in a good tackle there. So the Sharks, they fixed up their kick return defense. It's just everything else that's letting them down at the moment. As now Preston Bees goes for a bit of a run. I thought Preston was really good in his first stint. He had a couple of line breaks to go with a couple of bump offs and just looked very dangerous. As now Wakabayashi picks up the ball and runs a good couple of meters there. He almost dummied, but McCartney didn't fall for it whatsoever. But I tell you what, McCartney can do worse and take notes off Wakabayashi the way that he's played tonight. He's been absolutely exceptional as well. I got to say, most of the Panthers have been, in all honesty, as now Beats once again. Goes wide to Nielsen. The ball finds its way to Rusty Shackelford, the prop playing super wide. Try to target some smaller backs out on that edge. Is now 5th tackle with the Penrith Panthers. They're going to go downfield. Caden Nielsen. Kicking game's been almost without flaw, I think, the Panthers, in terms of short and long. As now Ben Cummins gets his first line break. But, yeah, Liam, I don't think I can remember a bad kick from the Panthers as they give away a little penalty there.
Yeah, I think you're right, Snicker. I don't think they've made an error off kicking. Maybe the one where they kicked it into their own back from the halves late in the first half. But yeah, they've just been flawless in that area, I think.
Yeah, and I think that I've just checked the SRL bets. It was less than 20 penalties to be conceded throughout the round. I think we've had 4 or 5 here tonight, so that's not promising for anyone that's got on that one. As now Maava goes for a bit of a scamper. He'll want to inject himself as this game finishes, try and stat pad slightly, because there's not much left for them in this game apart from that. As now Lonnie Lawrence just given backwards. Maybe that's why they're not giving him the ball, because that was not a great run from him. The Panthers, they were all over him. 3rd tackle in now. They go left. Whittaker, he also gets driven backwards. So the Sharks are just losing the contact at the moment. The home team know that there's not long left in this one. They want to get out with just the 12 points conceded. Maava beats one before he's brought down here. 5th tackle. It's going to be up to the Sharks to kick here and try and salvage some points. They go right to McCartney. He bombs. This is looking dangerous. There's a few players underneath it, but Lecky Tua comes down with it. Cool, calm, and collected under pressure. That's Lecky Tua. And the Sharks, that's probably their last chance, Liam. Oh, no, as they throw a shocker. Lonnie Lawrence is going to score. The big dive. He got that one out of nowhere. I'm not sure who threw that pass from the Panthers, but they can enjoy probably starting off the bench next week, because that was disgusting. And Lonnie Lawrence, the man on the spot, gets, well, I wouldn't say a well-deserved try, but he gets one anyway.
Yeah, Lonnie Lawrence strikes with that try. That was just an awful pass there, dummy half. And like you, I don't know who threw that one, but whoever it was, they're not going to enjoy watching the film in the week, because I'm sure Riley Murray will get them to watch it a few times and really critique that technique, because it really just was to nobody in particular.
Yeah, it's a dead set shocking way to concede a try. A pass to no one that no one picks up, and now they brought it back to a 12-point margin here, the Sharks, which is good for the for and against, which could be crucial later on. I don't know. We're only in round 3. I could be getting ahead of myself, but I think things are going to be really tight at the back end of the year in terms of ladder positioning. So you want to keep your for and against as tidy as it can be, as now it's going to be Riley Murray to kick off. And for a beaten team, the Sharks, 18 points isn't the worst. 30 points will obviously be concerning for their management, but I think that the signs are there. I know you said, Liam, they've been torn apart in the forwards, and they certainly have been. There's no arguing that, but I just wonder if possession had swung just a little bit early. Do you reckon their forwards would have been able to make the same impact with the ball, or do you think that tonight it was just all Panthers?
Look, I think that through the middle, they've just not been good enough. I think Nathan McCrory, he didn't really get the opportunity. He's obviously uh, played well the other week, and when he gets the ball, I think he's a good prop. But guys like Lonnie Lawrence, they just haven't been able to make an impact at all. And I don't know. I think that he lacks a bit of strength in that capacity. Maybe he needs to hit the weight room. I just don't know if half of their forwards or so really could make that impact needed to win this one.
Yeah, I suppose we'll wait and see what John Boy does with his next team list. As now the Panthers, with 20 seconds left in this game, Phoenix Murphy takes another run. Once again, they've been pretty strong here tonight, as now they go left out to Harrison Coward, back on the field in the lock roll potentially. I'm not actually sure where Harrison Coward's come on, as now Lachlan McKinnon takes it up, and that'll be the hooter in the background. The Penrith Panthers, well-deserved 30-18 winners. They joined the Sharks with 2 wins and 1 loss for the season, as the boys celebrate there briefly. We'll have a look at some stats in a moment, but I think for the Sharks, you just throw that one away. They only had 42% of the ball, makes it very tough. Both sides had the 7 errors. The Sharks made 31 more tackles than the Penrith Panthers, and that's going to hurt you all the time, as, 40 of those 40 missed tackles and 22 line breaks just doesn't compare to what the Penrith Panthers did. And 1,400 metres up against 1,100, that's a tough way to find a battle. I'll let you go through the individual stats, Liam.
Yeah, thanks, Nico. So for the Penrith Panthers, we have Riley Murray, obviously. He had a pretty good game, 241 metres with the 6 line breaks, 14 tackles made, only the 1 missed, had the try, 4 conversions. He was pretty solid today. I thought Lecky Tura on that wing was pretty solid. He had 125 metres. And also on the other wing, Dom Ponkston, obviously, 188 metres. Pretty solid on that. I believe it was the right-hand wing, so that was a solid change from them. He had 8 line breaks. And as we scroll down, Wakabayashi I thought was solid, had 145 metres, 18, was it 18 passes, 7 tackles, missed 1, 151 kick metres, had the 2 try assists, so he's very solid. You also had Lachlan McKinnon, 123 metres. I'm not sure how many of those were at second row compared to centre, but he was solid at centre, I thought. 8 tackles, 2 missed. He also had those 3 line breaks. Trayvon Sakahu was also solid out in that back row, 109 metres with 6 but 4 misses. Not great, but obviously had the try as well. Anything you want to note out in that?
No, we'll go to the
Penrith?
Sharks quickly, as we just take a quick look at them. It's hard to judge their run meters. Matthew Harris, 104, but you don't know how many of those were at the wing and how many were at fullback. And I think we'll have to scroll up quickly to see John Bomarava, but I think he'd have about the same 100 or so meters. Both the fullbacks. 165. That's snuck up on me. 7 line breaks from John Boy. He got moved in the second half, that's for sure. But yeah, put them together. Not sure if they quite equal what Riley Murray was able to put out tonight. I think that tackling stats, 30 for Eddie Oliver in the middle. That's always going to take its toll. It kind of shows you just how much ball the Penrith Panthers had. But Travis Whittaker, 171 metres in the second row, 17 tackles with 2 line breaks. That's pretty good going in a beaten team. I think he'll be quite happy with himself. I think another one to note, Nathan Macquarie just had the 74 metres from 54 minutes, which if you've seen what they've done in previous games, good job from the Penrith Panthers to limit them, I have to say, as the other one that sort of jumps out at me for the same reason is Fa'apele Poesia Fawa Aliti, 52 metres in the 40 minutes, but 16 tackles. Just shows you in that first half the Sharks just really could not touch the ball, and eventually that one, you could tell that with just the general fitness and things like that, they fell away in that second half. And I think the Penrith Panthers, they'll be pretty happy with that one. Anyway, that's all we have time for tonight. Did we catch the bottom of that one, of those stats? Hopefully we did. If not, we'll see them later. Anyway, good night, everyone. Hope you enjoyed some SRL action.